remember when we first met, and you made eyes inflate with infatuation.
Hello. I am DM Watson, and I just want to thank you for tuning into my video. Whether you have watched one before or if this is your first time, thank you so much for coming to my channel. So I am going to jump right into it. I don't know if you have seen the last video that I have posted, but I posted my top 10 confidence hacks, which was really fun. So you should check that out if you haven't seen it. But that was confidence that we were talking about then. Today we are on to relationship hacks, okay? So today I am talking about some gems that I have found on how to keep your man, okay? How to keep him happy, how to keep him engaged, how to keep him excited about the relationship, how to keep him excited about you, all of that, okay? I want to talk about it. So for anybody who doesn't know, I am very happily married to my college sweetheart. I don't know if you can see it, okay? Maybe take a closer look. But seriously, I really love him. In a few months, we'll be celebrating our 4-year anniversary for marriage. And then a few months after that, we'll be together for 10 years altogether. So I'm really excited. But during that time, I have definitely found some ways on how to keep him happy. And when I say I found some ways, that means I have stumbled across some ways, okay? So if you are interested in knowing some of the ways, some of the gems that I have found on how to keep my man happy and how to keep him excited and engaged and all of that, make sure you stay tuned for my 9 gems on how to keep your man. All right, gem number 1. Optimize only. Now y'all know how I am with my titles. If you've seen confidence hacks, I love my titles. So hack number 1, optimize only. What do I mean by that? I mean, if he is different, if there's something that only he does that nobody you have ever dealt with before has ever done, let him know, okay? Men love to be different. So anything to communicate that he's different, that he's rare. Oh, that's a good one. They love rare. Uncommon, set apart, set aside, distinct, whatever it is, let him know. But the key is to make sure that you're only saying it if you really mean it, because it is really powerful. So if he decides to ask you, to go a little bit deeper, like, babe, why do you say that? Or anything like that, you want to make sure that you really have an answer. But make sure you optimize the fact that he is the only to do blank, or that he is the only that has ever blank, or that he is the only one with this characteristic. They love it, okay? Gem number 2, give him glory and honor, okay? Glory and honor be your name, hallowed be, all of that stuff, okay? He loves it. He's gonna eat it up. People say that women need compliments, but no, sis, men need compliments. They need to be praised. They need to know where they stand in your mind, okay? Whether that is how he performs on his job, how he performs in bed, whether it is how he dresses, his complete appearance, his fresh haircut. Y'all, them fresh haircuts be hitting. Like, if it's the fresh haircut, you should be in his face all day. Like, sis, okay, let me just calm down because I'm thinking about my man. I'm getting worked up. But whatever it is, make sure you praise him as much as you can. He loves it, okay? And because you don't want to leave any room for doubt in his mind about what he is to you or what you like about him, because it's most definitely going to reflect in the way that he treats you, okay? It's going to reflect in how he sees you. If he feels like a king, if he feels like he's honored like a king, he'll treat you like a queen, okay? So make sure you get it together, sis. Gem number 3, flatter the future. And what I mean by this is be adventurous. Like, just make sure you always want to explore new things to do with him, things you've never done before, he's never done before, different avenues of excitement, everything. Even if he's not the adventurous type, he's going to be so flattered that you want to create memories, new memories with him. Even if he's exhausted by you, he's still going to be flattered that you want to create these memories with him. And also, when he starts thinking about the future, if he's already thinking about the future, if y'all are already living towards the future, he's going to be excited because he's going to know that your life is not going to be boring. His life is not going to be boring with you, and you'll be creating memories for the rest of your life. So make sure you're adventurous, explore new ways to do anything, new ways to see anything, all of that. Okay, gem number 4. This is called recognize responsibility. And I call it recognize responsibility because this is just being able to take a tiny little bit of a step back from the super hyper independence that we as women love to have, and you know, the I can do all things strategy that we try to apply to absolutely everything, and just letting the man kind of, you know, take the lead on some things. And not only take the lead, but then when he does take responsibility for some things, being loud about it and letting him know you appreciate it and you're grateful for it. Okay, just letting him know he's kind of interrupted, you know, your independence flow that you had going on. And because the fact of the matter is, anything that he does for you, he didn't have to do. He wanted to do it, or he agreed to do it. And so you just want to be thankful for that, because nobody owes us anything. So the fact that he stepped up is dope. Okay, and you will start to see that when a man starts to hear, you know, the compliments and the things that you notice about what he's doing, he'll start to own it more and more. And that sense of ownership is most definitely going to lead to increased leadership. So I'm gonna give you an example. So my husband, he is not like a Mr. Fix-It, I wouldn't say, but we had, at this time of this example, we only have one dog. Now we have two, but the one dog's name was Watson, and he has extreme anxiety. Okay, so one day we left and he scratched up our bathroom, like the framing on our wall or whatever. So we come home, and at first the conversation was like, man, we have to get somebody to fix this, da 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 da. He's like, yeah, we'll get somebody to fix this. But then we went through like a little rough patch. Okay, we move on from the rough patch, and when we come out, I made it a point to make sure I was complimenting him as much as possible. Like, babe, I just appreciate you for paying the rent today, or I really appreciate you for doing this, da da da. I appreciate the way that you keep our home. I appreciate when you do the dishes, whatever. Okay, so I was just telling him all this stuff I love about what he does in the house. Don't y'all know, one day he came home, and I came out the room, and I went and sat on the couch, and I looked over, and he was on the floor in the bathroom. He had went and bought all this like wood putty or whatever you call it, I don't know, stuff for the walls, but he was sitting there fixing the wall, and I took a picture of it. I was like flabbergasted, because that's not his thing. But I'm telling you, y'all, when you instill that like sense of leadership, or that sense of ownership, leadership is sure to follow. Okay, I'm only telling you what I know. Let me just say that I'm sitting here thinking that this is probably not the smartest video for me to do, because it's telling my husband all of my secrets. So y'all better put these into practice, and this video better go to good use, okay? But okay, gem number 5, promise keeper. So this basically just means if you have anything set in your mind that you're going to do for your husband, or that you're going to do for your boyfriend or your fiance, whoever he is to you, make it a promise, and make it a demonstrative promise. Like, say it out loud to him, because if you already know you're gonna do it, if you already have the way made to get it done, and you know it's a for sure thing, making that promise to him and then following through is only going to build trust, and it's gonna impress him, because it's gonna show, number one, you're thinking about him. If that promise has to do with him, clearly you're thinking about him. And number two, you follow through on your word. So only make promises that you can keep. Okay, that's really, really important. Do not overcommit. If if he has a show, or if he has an event or something like that, don't say, oh yeah, I would love to come, I'll show up, I'm gonna. And if you can't really show up, don't commit to doing that, because he may not say he's holding it against you, but it says, trust me, he's holding it against you. Even if you follow through on 10 more promises, he's going to remember that you fell through on that one promise. Okay, so make promises that you can keep. Okay. All right, gem number 6 is be the dream catcher, okay? It is super important that the man that you are with is a man whose dreams and goals you feel like you can support, okay? It is nothing worse than being in a relationship. Well, there's probably things that are worse, but it is terrible to be in a relationship with a man who has goals and dreams that are somewhere that you never saw yourself, okay? It is just ridiculous. So for instance, my man is a poet, he's a spoken word artist, he's a musician, he's many, many things. He's a teacher, he's a lot, but at the core, he's a spoken word artist, okay? Growing up, I always picture myself as some type of athlete, not even like necessarily a professional athlete, but especially like in high school and in college, I liked athletes because I was athletic, and you know, I just like watching sports, all that stuff. So if I met my husband in college and I found out he was a poet and that's not something that I felt like I could support, then keep moving and I'll go find my athlete or something. But luckily, you know, I was able to find value in what he did. He's incredible at it. He does it like no one else does it. So I was able to find value, and I was able to see different areas where I could add value as well. So when you are with a man, it's important to not only see his vision, but to definitely be a part of it, okay? You want to be a part of the dream. Make your presence known. It's so, so important. He will appreciate it. And then it's a teeny little bit of insurance because, you know, not so much for my married couples, but for my engaged and my dating couples. If he was to like bump his head or something and decide to try to get rid of you, you are so much a part of that dream that even though the core of the dream may not change, a lot about the dream has to change. A lot of the details have to change, okay? If he wanted you out of it because you've been so, you know, just deep into the dream and so involved. That goes right into gem number 7, which is create a niche or a niche, however you say it. I don't know how to say it, so however you say it, insert it there. But basically just find something that you do really, really well, a responsibility that you could take from him, or something you could add to the relationship that is gonna make a huge impact. So like typically women are a lot more detail oriented than men. So if there's something that he's already doing, take that responsibility from him and then improve upon it, do it well, because you don't wanna, you know, take a responsibility from him and then do it worse, or even do it the same, because then he could still be doing it. You want to create an impact in the relationship, okay? And you will start to see that the more and more things that you do well, this is a little secret, okay? But the more you do well, the more power you have in the relationship. It's kind of like, you know, when you go to a business, there's a CEO and he's in charge over the whole business. So whether the business flourishes or whether it falls and fails, it's up to the CEO. But the CEO usually has a secretary or a receptionist or a personal assistant who knows everything that's going on with the CEO. So he can't schedule a meeting without the secretary. If he wants to make copies, he has to talk to the secretary because he probably doesn't know how to do it. If he needs, you know, to make a phone call, the secretary probably has all of his phone. You know, just the secretary is really the most powerful, ladies, if you catch my drift. So just make sure you create a niche or whatever you want to say, and do it well. All right, gem number 8 is secure the bag, okay? And in this video, the bag is the friends and the family, okay? They are very important because those are the people that he loves. So he wants to know, of course, it's always good to let him know that the people that he loves are the people that you love, or at least that you're trying to love and trying to get to know. So invite them over for dinner or something like that. Invite them out to have a good time, go bowling, you know, encourage him to go spend time with them on his own, whatever it is, because when they start to feel like, oh yeah, he has a good girl or whatever, I'm gonna tell y'all, when he goes out, when he's away from you, whatever it is, it's gonna give you so much leverage, because they're gonna be like, oh, don't mess that up. Even if y'all have, or if y'all are like in a bad space or something and he goes out and somebody tries to step to him, they're gonna be like, don't mess that up. Like, you have something good at home or something. It's gonna give you leverage, sis. Like, listen to me. I told you, I'm telling you what I know. Okay, I'm trying. But seriously, and it's gonna have him just appreciate you because you're trying to put in effort to know and to love the people that he loves. All right, we have made it all the way to gem number 9. Let me just say, y'all, I already know everybody ain't gonna agree with this, and that is okay. I'm already shaking my head. And let me just say this too. This gem is certainly not for women who have been cheated on by the man that they are currently with, or if their man has a history of lying. This is not for you. This does not apply. I would not suggest this. However, gem number 9 is jog your jealousy, okay? Jog it a little bit, okay? Work it out, slow it down a little bit, enough to encourage healthy, respectful, and appropriate relationships with the opposite sex, okay? Because the fact of the matter is that he probably had female friends before you, all right? And no man wants to feel like everything about their life has to change because they get with you, or because they marry you, or because they engage you. It's not how they want to feel. And I'm not saying an abundance of them, and nor am I suggesting, you know, it should be a free-for-all. I think that you should stay informed. So I would say, as long as they are keywords, healthy, respectful, and appropriate relationships, okay? Now use your head, all right? Use your head. Don't be dumb, all right? Don't be dumb in these streets. But as long as they are healthy, respectful, and appropriate relationships, it is just ludicrous to think that men are the only people who have something to offer your man, that men are the only people who have something that your man can glean from or something to learn from, or the only people that have a friendship to offer. It's just ludicrous. And you'll see something. It's going to show you, one, that it's going to show him that you trust him. And then two, it's going to call him into responsibility real quick, okay? Because when you allow those friendships, it's going to make him feel like he doesn't have anything to hide from you. But if anything ever went left and one of those, you know, opposite sex relationships did try something, if they tried something with your man, it makes him be responsible quick to nip that in the bud, because he knows he already has your trust. So unless he wants to break your trust, he's responsible to get this together, okay? And then three, it's gonna make him feel grateful that you are secure enough, that you trust him enough to foster these kind of friendships, all right? And it's gonna make him feel like more of a man, like more complete, because he doesn't have to hide from you. So as long as it is healthy, one more time, respectful and appropriate, encourage it. All right, y'all, so those are my 9 gems on how to keep your man, okay? If you found anything in there that you liked, that you agreed with, that you are gonna put into practice, make sure you let me know, okay? So comment, like, share, subscribe, okay? Make sure you are subscribing. That way you can get an alert if you see any of my other videos come up, all right? You'll be the first to know, and you can tune in and talk back with me, all right? So thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed.
Darling, but you got a part of me. I know some may say this ain't how it's supposed to be.